Okay, basically I want to say hi guys and welcome again. Sorry for the rough camera angle here. What you're looking at on my screen is Sketchup, the software called Sketchup. Okay, and what I've got here is I've got some 3D figures which are downloaded from the internet. Okay, these are models I've brought in. These are 3DS models, and they're just a series of figures like people. Okay, I mean in poses. I have so many more too, men and women, and also buildings and houses, and there's so many things, and there are some good resources online with models and stuff you can download and use in 3D softwares. So anyway, this is just a very convenient 3D modeling software called SketchUp. And what I've done is, if you're familiar with SketchUp, you'll know if you go up to the top here and go to Window and go down to Styles, okay, what you have is a selection of styles. This thing comes up and it gives an overall look to the whole thing. So for example, usually you'll have like textures on and stuff, like a certain look to them, you know, like, and they'll have colours and stuff, like you'll see most of these models don't have colours, but this one does. You know, the textures. And anyway, you know, but what I did is, to make it more simple, is I just went to View and I left shadows on, fog off. God damn it! And then you know, you can turn edges off, and what that does is you just get that effect, you know. And what you can also do is turn off or on the profiles, and what the profiles are is the outer edge. Obviously if you want something that looks more realistic like this, then you're better to go with like what I've got here, like this kind of thing, you know. And that might be what you're going for, that kind of thing. But and then, you know, you can get another effect too, where it look kind of silhouette kind of looking, but or statues. But anyway, the basic thing I'm doing here is I've decided to go to Window, go to Styles, and then just select the one which is called Hidden Line. It's just called Hidden Line, and it looks like this. Don't ask me why it's called Hidden Line, but it just makes everything black and white. If you want to turn off the axis, blue, red and green lines there, go to View and turn off the axis. But what you do is you go to View and I'm keeping shadows on, fog switched off, and I turn off edges. Okay, but what I do is I turn on the profiles. Okay, and what that does is give you this effect. Okay, I've got it pre-saved with these figures in here. Now go to Window and go to for the shadow, by the way, go to Window and go down to, you'll also see here shadow and fog. You've got these two options are actually here visible too. Okay, shadows and fog. It's the same as under View, like we had View here and we got shadows and fog. But the difference on the windows, when you go to Window up here and go down to shadows or fog, it gives you more toggles and stuff, more options for the shadows, like the direction of the shadows, how strong, dark or light the shadows are, and again, you know, again, like other things. I'm not going to go through so many things, so many features in this. It's a very good software, by the way. I advise a lot of people to like play around with SketchUp and learn. You can really do some cool stuff. You can even make basic 3D geometry and stuff, make some scenery and stuff for your anything you're doing, like games or anything too. Yeah, and as I was saying, if you go to View, there's different things like camera controls. If you go to View, okay, if you go to View and go to Fog, you can also, like, I think, change the colour of the fog to things like that, like make it misty and stuff. But I'm not going to show you any of that right now, okay? This is just a very quick video on SketchUp. If you'd like, I'll make more videos on SketchUp and show you a lot of things if you like. I use SketchUp sometimes when it helps me. The reason I've brought this into here, okay, into my on my screen here, the reason I've got it up, okay, is basically it gives me please excuse me here for the Let me just turn it off for 1 second and just show you something. Okay. The reason I sometimes use a SketchUp, as I say, like this with 3D backgrounds, is because sometimes it helps me for reference for when I'm drawing figures that you can draw like on top of them. You can get a camera angle, set up a camera angle, you know, okay, and then just basically go straight in, okay, and take an image, a screenshot, or export a 2D image. You can do that, and then bring that into your art software, and then as a layer, and then go on another layer. I'll show you in a moment, just really quickly, what you can do. Just really quickly, I'll just show you. I'm just reopening SketchUp here, if you'll bear with me for 1 second. Okay. If you'll bear with me a moment, I do have quite a few things open here. Let me just start a new file here in Fire Alpaca, a new project. So this software here is Fire Alpaca, which you know I like to use for my art and stuff. This is what I love to use this for art. So if you'll hold on and I'll just show you. So this here is SketchUp again. So if I choose the hand in SketchUp here with the hand, okay, I can left click, hold and drag. Use the mouse wheel to the middle button to zoom in and out, or I can okay, and then you can click the middle button too and hold it and turn. You can hold it while you're turning the camera. Anyway, you can also I'm very sorry for these the angles again. I know it's not looking too great. If I turn edges on for a second, it might help more. Okay, like this. Okay, just so you can see what I'm doing here. Usually I'll have the edges turned off, but I'm just showing you for quickness. Okay, you can do things like you can hold Control on the keyboard, and as you click and hold the middle button on the mouse, which is the mouse wheel, which you can also zoom and scroll in and out. But you can also get these other angles, like these funky angles you see here. Okay. Anyway, I've got these and then, as I said, letting go and then just holding left click and just moving the mouse around here. See, I can get all these different angles, okay, that I want to have. And if I want to zoom in, let's say if I want to have an angle of someone there talking, for example, I could have that. Let's go to view and turn the edges off for a second, and I'll just export this as an image. Go to File, Export, and not 3D model, but rather 2D graphic. I'm exporting it to my desktop as a PNG file. Then I'll just turn this off for a second to show you what I'm doing. But you can use this to help you with comics or animation and stuff. So yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring that image, okay, into my art software, like one of my art softwares. I'm just going to use Fire Alpaca here for now. You can use whatever the hell you like. You know, you can use Photoshop. I've got that. I've got Manga Studio also, and I've got Krita, which I love as well. But Fire Alpaca is like something I really enjoy using. So I'm going to bring the image in now. Okay, if this is the one, it is. Okay, I'm going to drag it in as a layer. Okay, I may have to resize it. Go to select, transform, and then just sort of size it, whatever you see. And then from here I can click OK, and I can just toggle the opacity, or I can go to filter and levels and then just make it very faint like this, you see, so I can just about see the detail. And then what I can do is I can go on another layer on top of that, you know, and just draw away, basically draw away to my heart's content, and just draw either on top of it or beside it, and just use it like as a reference. You know, it's got the camera angle and everything I want, you know what I mean, and then just draw. Okay, so basically with this, what I can basically do is I can, you know, if I like, what I'm talking about is if it's like if I've got really hard to draw, you know, positions and stuff. I mean, this position here is not really that hard to draw, I don't think. But let's just say, for example, right. So you know, I'm just saying, like, you know, you can draw. You can come in here, see, and practice drawing the human figure. Is what I'm trying to say to you. So I can go in, you know, and just draw. I could just draw a rough shape to the head there. You can see the shoulders are here. It's a good way to practice drawing too. I can do that. I can do all the, you know, whatever it's going to be there. Work it all out, you know, and just learn. Hand in the pocket there, see. And once I got it down, you know, I'll have my figure. So I'm not going to draw the whole figure. I'm just saying, for example. Okay, heck, I will do the legs. Okay, but let's just say, okay, I've got my figure there, see. Well, I may have done it like that, or I may have just drawn it to the side. You know, I may have just looked at that as a reference on the left and then drawn it there. But either way, okay, I'm just saying, let's just delete that for a moment and move this across. You see, and there we go. See, I can just lighten that up, go to another level, another layer, sorry, and then go on then and draw some kind of funky character in a hat or whatever it's going to be, some crazy thing, you know. Just draw it however I want to draw it, you know, some actual character. Let's say I was going to draw it, you know. That's some crazy one right there, you know. I could draw anything. I'm just doing a very rough thing here, you know, just to show you. You know, just doing it very rough to show you here what I'm talking about. You know, even change the position with the hands there, draw a sword, where it's going to be, and you could take a lot of time, you know, and just come up with some real good artwork. Delete the back stuff. I mean, this is just really rough, but I'm just saying this is what you could do, you know. And it's a good way of setting up stuff too. I mean, I could really set up some perspective from here. I could come up with some ideas. There's some. I could have the castle in the background or whatever. See, on the big bridge on the side there, whatever it's going to be, across the water, whatever it's going to be, you know. And I can draw my scenes up and take my time on it. I'm saying, you know. And so you can use these scenes for like reference, or you can draw over them. And it doesn't mean that you have to do it. It's just like something that you can do, you know, as extra to help you, you know. That's what I'm trying to say, like as a practice for scenery. You can also use, you know, pre-posed figures. You can't really pose the figures, certain figures, anyway. In Sketchup. That's part of the one I've got anyway. But you can, like, you know, if you were using something like a poser, which I've got, even Blender, if you're good at that. I'm not really good with Blender, but I'm good with poser. But you know, you can pose the figures too into certain fighting positions or whatever, and draw over them, you know. See, for example, you might want to just go ahead and just try it. So I like to do these scenes too, where I'm like, I like just like making them up, you know. Okay, just visualizing them, you know, things like that. You know, I can do that, and I'm trying to like practice that. I'm not advising people to just all out really, like, you know, just cheat and stuff, you know. But you know what I'm saying though, like. You know, I'm just saying that it can actually help to practice, help someone to practice, you know, their basics, you know, how to draw and stuff. Like right here, what I'm doing, let's see, I'm just literally trying to come up with some position. Like, I'm just trying to show you, like, can you imagine? It's quite hard sometimes to do, like, various poses and just from your imagination, you know. It really is. I mean, it depends on how you see things, but see, I'm just trying to challenge myself here. I really am, and I'm just imagining where, you know, where everything will go. I have a lot of trouble myself personally drawing various poses, you know, if that's what you want to call them, or fighting movements, you know, fighting positions and stuff. I find it very, very hard to draw the human figure. That's just me, you know. So I mean, this is really not even very good in itself, this, but I'm going to make this hand a bit smaller, and you'll see what I mean. See, like, I'm just doing this absolutely freehand, say, and it's coming out kind of ugly, but you know what I'm trying to say. It's like, whoa, you know, coming up with something like that. You can just start with like stick figures or silhouettes or scribble sketches and a mixture of both, you know, just like to do, but to actually have like a consistent scene, you know, to a consistent, you know, like an actual scene where it's like, you know, an actual scene where it's like, you know, a fight scene or something, you know, or a comic or an animated scene where it's like literally consistent, you know, where the people are actually standing in a certain place, things like that, you know. It's like, wow, you know, I'm just doing a rough little sketch here just while I'm talking to you. See, see how ugly that is, but you know, I mean, that's just a challenge, to have the characters moving and everything, you know, and have them various positions, you know. I have to keep correcting myself here. It's like it's not too good, this, you know. I can see what I'm doing, you know. You know, here, this leg's far in the back, you know. So you get the idea. Like, we're trying to work with the perspective and stuff, and it's like just so goddamn ugly. But you know, I'm just trying to clean things up, and this is what I do. You know, I try and come up with like different scenes, and I just put a load of effects on the top to try and come up with some better looking stuff. But a lot of the time it's just like stylized crap, but I'll try and do better art. I'm trying to improve, but I find it very like useful to use like 3D models and stuff sometimes to, like, you know, to help you practice perspective and anatomy, whatever you call it, you know, the body, the poses, and you know, what do you call it, the positioning of the body and all that. I find it just really useful. You know, I'm just cleaning up this here. And I really know my way around this fire alpaca, as I say, a lot better now. I'm practicing. I'm working with all kinds of sketches and stuff and methods of doing characters and stuff too. I mean, like this here, for example, I can actually morph this into a better shape in another in another in another art software. I mean, I can actually morph this a bit better, so that the legs are a bit longer, stretched out, and I could do different things. Well, this guy's got a funny suit. Only one arm's got a sleeve on it. That's strange. But yeah, you know, I'm just showing you what you can do. You know. If you're just drawing from imagination, it can be hard. So I'm sorry to like ramble, as I say, but just thought I'd show you a few things there. This is how I like to do things here. See, top with some like comic-y effects. Sometimes I blow myself away. I mean, you can still like come up with some fun stuff when you just do rough sketches and stuff. You know, it should be there. See. Okay. Okay, so that's that. Make this one lighter. What the heck is going on here? So I'm kind of babbling. I know I'm kind of babbling on here, but you know, it's what it is when you're a babble master. So even for this shadow, I don't have to put in so much detail. You see, put a little bit of a shape there to indicate the hats, the soil, or whatever. You know, I don't know. Put a bit of a shape there. Even that is a little bit too much in my opinion. Give it a bit of a blur maybe. A bit of a blur. I like the way you can make selections and then just blur or add effects to certain parts or adjust certain parts. That's good. Okay. Even like that, see, that looks alright. So I don't know where this guy is right now, but you know. Maybe like this. Okay. And then what we can do is, you know, we can just cut this out and then just do this. But I just thought I'd show you a few things there about creating like figure type scenes and stuff. I'm going to give this character a slight blur as well. A slight blur, I said. Go on. I can also play around with this here a little bit too. Make him like softer. Merge that. Oh, excuse me. That's probably like the best thing I've done so far. Okay, so I'm just adding a few more things here. Sorry to kind of babble, so I know I'm babbling now, but this is a real simple one. This. Yeah. Okay. So that's that. I'm going to add some colour on top. I'm just making this literally for the sake of it because I started this and now I'm going to finish it. And that's what I'm all about. Starting things and finishing things. Okay, if they're good. If they're not, you scrap them. This is just a rough one. It ain't that good, so I'm going to scrap it in a moment. And I'll delete that shit. I want to say thank you for watching. Talk to you again soon.